Hello everyone, this is Hybrid Accounts, and we're just going to take a look at the question overall and absorption of overheads. What's that? And when is there overall and absorption of overheads? So actually, if absorbed overheads exceed actual overhead, we say that we have overabsorbed. And if it is less than the actual overhead, we say that we have underabsorbed the overhead. So let's just go directly to the question. The question says that XYZ Limited budgeted overheads at uh, at actually $4,000 actually for the month, right? But actually at this point the budgeted units of production were 500 units, right? And then at the end of the month we had the actual results, which meant that the actual overheads incurred were 4,200 and actually 600 units were produced. Then what are we required to do? Okay, you just have to determine the overall and absorption of overheads, right? Yeah, so this is what we need to do. So first of all, you have to determine the absorbed overheads. And what is the formula for absorbed overheads? Absorbed overheads are always equal to overhead absorption rate times the actual level of activity, actual activity level. There's no 9 units here. This was the closing bracket. So it just times the actual activity level, right? This is not 9. Ignore this 9. All right. So how do you determine the overhead absorption rate now? Because it's not given. So to determine the overhead absorption rate, we just use budgeted information. So you say budgeted overheads over budgeted units. Actually, it's over budgeted activity level, but this time around we have been provided with units. So I would say over budgeted units of production, right? We could divide by anything. And also, when you are given the normal level of production, divide by that normal level. Okay, so in our case, we have the budgeted overheads at $4,000 and have the units of production budgeted at 500 units. So you can just divide 4,000 divided by 500 and it would remain with $8 per unit. Now at this point, we are in a pole position to determine absorbed overheads because we have our actual units produced at 600 units, right? Yes. So you can just go on and determine your absorbed overhead. So if the formula says absorbed overheads equals to overhead absorption rate, which is $8 per unit, and the actual activity level, which is in units, so times 600 units, and this would give you 4,800 units. And lastly, we have to compare this absorbed overhead with the actual overheads. And remember that we have already been provided with the actual overheads at 4,200. You can just go back and see, right? This one, actual overheads 4,200. Okay. Then you go back to actually our solution. Then we have to compare. Now, we have absorbed, absorbing overheads mean that overhead that have been included in production, right? In actual, if you have compared to cost of sales, you could say cost of sales. So we have observed, we have absorbed 4,800, but what we have actually incurred is 4,200. So it means that overheads have been overabsorbed. By how much? You would have to deduct 4,800 minus 4,200, and this will give you $600. So that's all. Thank you, and actually subscribe for regular updates. All right, then, until next time.